My name is Dr. David Kabanda. I am a food rights lawyer, and this is the state of the food security, food safety, and food sovereignty address. We are waking up to a very sad realization in the country, and these are facts, unfortunately. We currently have very high levels of food safety issues in Uganda, and they are different dimensions. First is the food that we buy from the market, the groceries that you get. We have statistics that show that 89% of the food that you'll get in the main markets in Uganda is not safe, is contaminated with chemicals, dangerous chemicals, highly hazardous chemicals that have been banned in other countries, and then they continue on our market. They are being sold as if these chemicals are not dangerous. We spray maize, we spray groundnuts, we spray. So all those are safety issues. So when a study was made by the School of Public Health, Makerere University, it was compounded 89% of the food in the main markets in Uganda is not safe, is contaminated. We have the Uganda Agri-Chemicals Control Act, which spells out who must use chemicals. It's a very good provision. For example, it talks about applicators. An applicator is a person who has been trained and has a certificate to apply dangerous chemicals, for example. Because chemicals, although we use them, some are not highly hazardous. Others are highly hazardous pesticides, for example. So for you to use them, you must be a trained person. But I want to ask you Ugandans, you all know how our farmers use these chemicals in spraying. Who trained them? Who guides them? Who regulates them? Who tells what to mix and what not to mix? And some of these chemicals, as we go to buy from the markets or from those drug agro dealer shops, they are not properly labeled. And even if they are labeled, some of them are labeled in a language that we don't understand. Many of the farmers may not even interpret what is on the label because it is written in scientific terms or language. So for example, if I told you mancozeb, do you understand? Mancozeb 80%, what does it mean? And an ordinary farmer will not understand. But maybe they've listened on radio, which is also a very sad reality in Uganda, that chemical companies, international and national, have been given a lot of liberty to go on commercial radios and carry out campaigns, do adverts, do promotions in villages, in communities. So a farmer will only rely on those companies, not on the public health officer, not on an extension officer, because we don't even have them. So the end result, our food is not safe. Our food is not healthy at all. What should we do as Ugandans? The levels are different. For example, at an individual level, do you care in your house such that you don't eat food that has molds? Make sure that where you have a particular place in your house where you store your food, not in a fridge all the time, because the fridge also has its own issues. If you have, for example, dry food or dried food, make sure it is not on the ground. It is put on an elevated maybe structure or pellets, such that it does not absorb the dampness on your floor, because that is the cause of aflatoxins in most cases. Make sure that the place is dry, the place is cool where you put your food. Then at local government level, each market you see, is under the jurisdiction and authority of a local government. So what we want to ask you to do, let us now start a policy where we encourage our farmers to grow food without misusing chemicals. Then number 3, it is at government level. If we want to have safe food, we must make sure that we check on the policies and the laws, and we facilitate Ministry of Agriculture to have enough extension workers to guide farmers on how they deal with our food. And then also the transportation, such that the food is not transported in vehicles that carried building materials like cement, or the animals are not transported while torturing them. By the time they reach the slaughtering houses, it is no longer meat, because the biochemistry has now turned them into other dangerous chemicals to our bodies. We have refused to understand that food is a human right. It's a fundamental right for everyone. And this right starts with you as a parent, to the local governments who must regulate, and also to the national government. A Ugandan today who went to any particular market in Uganda to buy food, 89% of the food they bought was contaminated, either with aflatoxins, either with chemicals, dangerous, hazardous chemicals. And no wonder many people right now are going to the Cancer Institute. We have too many unexplained cancers. And you see, the dangerous thing with cancer, you've eaten a very small, maybe, amount of mancozeb, and you may not even feel it. You may not even know. But you see, the body, although you are not using your brain to think, the body thinks. As your body picks out the nutrients, it also picks the chemical. Then it doesn't know what to do with it. And whether you like it or not, it will deal with your cells. And then the cancer cells will start to form. Unfortunately, the body will not communicate that immediately. So it will continue developing. At some point you are weak. At some point you don't know what is happening. Till when you are stage 4, many people have cancers. So when I talk about the food safety, it is not just about talking about food poisoning, although that is also there, where people just eat on the roadside. There are pathogens in the food. The hygiene is very poor. We have talked about the reused oil, where someone has used the oil for the last 6 months without changing it. Who is regulating the street food? When people between 30 to 45 or 50 die, it's not only their families that are losing. The government is also losing, because the people are dying when they are in their prime time of their time, where they must contribute economically to our growth as a country. People have died, and we've been told they've died because of diabetes. It started as diabetes. It went into now kidney failure, high blood pressure, and all other cardiovascular diseases. Where does it start? It starts from food safety. We need now to make sure that the food is not a cause of death in this country. Food sovereignty is when an individual, a community, a nation can determine their food sources, and they can determine its sustainability. Meaning that you can determine what you're going to eat in a day, in a week, in a month, 3 months, 6 months, and the future. And it is, first of all, seed dependent. He who controls seed controls you. Because if you do not have the authority and power over seed, you have nothing. Actually, food sovereignty determines state sovereignty. You cannot claim to be a sovereign state when you do not have food sovereignty. What does it mean? That any given country and enemy can use food as a tool of destruction to your people and to the state. Government has brought in hybrids, and many people are now going to continuously be poor. And lastly, these hybrids are causing food insecurity. How? The people who cannot buy every season will not plant. The government must wake up, the individuals must wake up, families must wake up. Let us go back to buy they call it orphaned food, by the way. If it is not wheat, if it is not rice, if it is not corn, then that is orphaned food. Who told them that our food is orphaned? The food sovereignty is infused into state sovereignty. Without having food sovereignty, stop thinking about state sovereignty. It is unfortunate that we don't have a law. As the Center for Food and Adequate Living Rights, and also me as personally as Kavanda, we have engaged the powers that be. We have engaged Ministry of Health, we have engaged Ministry of Agriculture, we have had different dialogues with the Office of the Prime Minister as the apex coordinator of nutrition in this country. And we have highlighted the problem of not having a framework law. Right now, members of parliament tried to come up with a private members bill, and it has not progressed. And it was it needed some more work, because when we are talking about food now, it needs to be a comprehensive framework law. Because when we are talking about the agri-food system, we are talking about from farm to fork, from the practice that happens at the farm, the practice that happens at harvesting, transportation, manufacturing, packaging, marketing, preparation of food, serving of food. So you need a law that has a 360 dimension and it looks at all those aspects. Ministry of Agriculture ought to have given us this law already. But we don't have the law. We don't have a law in this country on food. And we want to ask Ministry of Agriculture to give us this law, because the cabinet now gave the mandate to Ministry of Agriculture. But you cannot over-push for law when you don't even have a policy. As a country right now, we don't have a food policy. We had engaged with Ministry of Agriculture and they promised us to give us a policy by June 2025. All is not lost. Maybe the leaders are working on a better. We already have what they call the regulatory impact assessment. At least they've worked on that. So we are hopeful. But as we continue to be hopeful, many people are dying. Many people are sick. 99% of the people who have diabetes in Uganda don't know that they have diabetes. And even those few who now know that they have type 2 diabetes, for example, which comes from food, all those people who know that they have dietary-related non-communicable diseases, dietary-related. Imagine how your food now becomes a cause of death. Sometimes you don't even need to go to the hospital. You don't. You just need to know how to eat, what to eat, when to eat. It is unfortunate. We don't have a law, but all hope is not lost. We know government has worked on the regulatory impact assessment. At least that was finished. But we also don't have an authority. We need a food safety authority. 11% of Ugandans suffer acute food insecurity, that they cannot afford a meal a day. And 34% of Ugandans suffer moderate food insecurity, meaning that they can afford a meal, but they are not sure whether they will eat tomorrow. But even if I put it at individual level, you, a Ugandan who is looking at me right now, watching me right now, go back to your house. Are you sure that you know what your people are going to eat today? Or even you yourself, are you sure? If you are not sure, it means that your food is secure. Okay, you may have the guarantee for today. Are you sure you have food for a full week? If that question is in the negative, you are food insecure. Okay, you may have a week guarantee. What about a month? Anyone who cannot guarantee their food for 3 months, for 6 months, they are food insecure. If you're Ugandan and you don't have guarantee of what you'll eat let me give you a period of up to 31st January, you have refused to reason. You have refused to see in the future. You have refused to give protection to your family and to yourself.